Man, it's low-key lockdown, and if you just put your ear to the UFC octagon for a minute, you'll hear rumors of Kamaru Usman calling out Khamzat chimeiv. Then you will wake up and realize they were not rumors. Kamaru Usman wants to fight Khamzat chimeiv. We've been looking for somebody to fight Khamzat for a long time. We've been looking for somebody to feed this man. We've proven that he belongs, up there in the top echelon of fighters to fight. And, we've bought him a contender to fight. And, Kamaru Usman is definitely an interesting contender for him to fight in general, dog. And I have a lot of reasons why I think Kamaru could possibly beat Khamzat. For one, Khamzat is primarily a wrestler. So is Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman's background mainly consists of freestyle wrestling. And if we're being honest, Kamaru Usman has proven a lot of about his wrestling capability within the years of him fighting, being able to take down Colby Covington, etc., etc. He also has a pretty good boxing base, and some good power in those hands. Those off that 1-2 jab, man, he's got a really good one of those, a good 1-2 jab. He's knocked out the likes of Jorge Masvidal, and he has a pretty good fundamental boxing, good power in his hands. Good movement, good sense of distance, good range keeping, his jab is just excellent. Look, man, but, Khamzat, he also has power in his hands as well. Decent boxing. I feel like being at a higher weight class would do him some good. I think he'll be able to retain more of his power and, he won't be as drained in the fight. And I think that could be good for him as well. He's a pretty big dude. He lost, and he didn't lose. He couldn't make weight by 9 pounds last time he fought at 170. So I think this is the necessary move up that he needs to make in weight because, apparently 170 was not cutting it for him. 9 pounds, that's crazy. Look, it depends all upon which Kamaru Usman that we'll see if he's able to take down Khamzat chimeiv. If we'll see the Kamaru Usman of recent, I don't know. I have some doubts. But if we see glimpses of Kamaru Usman in his prime, then he might be able to do this. I think this is this could be interesting depending on which Kamaru Usman shows up to play, man. Which Kamaru Usman shall show up to play? Khamzat, his striking is just getting there. As a fighter that started with a wrestling background, when you get some striking, it's awkward at first. As we've seen with Khabib was looking retarded with the first time he tried to throw punches in the UFC, but eventually he got better, which is good. And then we got Kamaru Usman. He's got a good boxing background. He learned some boxing, and he's become a straight up good ass boxer. That's all I gotta say. Straight up, man. He's a good boxer and he's a good wrestler, and that makes a good combination, and that makes a great fighter. So, other than him getting head kicked by Leon Edwards, man, he has quite a few. He has quite a few accomplishments and quite a good defense as far as boxing as well, man. One thing I would like to say about Kamaru Usman is he definitely would have the higher fight IQ in this scenario. Him having been around for a longer time, and him have been he's just being in there with the opponents, the higher echelon of opponents that he's fighting, and his experience and all kind of shit, man. I feel like those are gonna play factors. I feel like he's a smarter fighter than Khamzat, but Khamzat is also a younger fighter. He's also the fresher fighter. He also is coming off of a 12 to 13 fight win streak. Kamaru Usman is coming off of a loss, which can make a big difference in this fight, man. Does Kamaru Usman still have the desire in his heart, like how Khamzat's going to have when he comes in, because Khamzat has something to lose. He has a win streak to lose. Kamaru, he doesn't really have much to lose. Not really. He came off of a loss just now. He's not really looking to defend a streak or anything, but Khamzat is. Khamzat has a lot to prove. He said he wants to kill everybody. You heard me? Everybody. And if he smashes Kamaru Usman, that'll put him up there. And I think after Kamaru Usman, the next fight that needs to be made is Leon Edwards, man. Honestly, because what do you even do with a guy like that? He's just smashing every single person you put in front of him. You just need to find somebody to, feed him. And, man, look, Khamzat is a great fighter. Kamaru Usman is an experienced veteran. And I say that this fight outcome really all depends on which Kamaru Usman is standing like on the other side of Khamzat during this fight? Is it the prime Kamaru Usman? Is it closer to prime Kamaru Usman, or is this new one that we've seen, and he's getting old and his knees are turning to shit, and he's just all the things that come with age, and his knees are turning into shit. He's getting old. He's losing a desire to fight, just like everybody else. At some point we lose our desire to fight in the UFC. And, that's reasonable. Fighting is not a logical thing. And once you get old and logical and, you want to spend time with your kids, you don't want to be doing this because your body is not going to work. Kamaru Usman has to walk backwards downstairs so that he doesn't have pressure on his knees. So if Khamzat is able to break those knees down over time, man, yeah, Kamaru is going to be finished. But at the same time, man, who knows, man? Anything can happen, man. And let me know what y'all want. Let me know what y'all want to see next, man. I think that Kamaru Usman, if he shows up as prime Kamaru Usman, could win this fight. And I think that Khamzat, as he is, if he shows up against the Kamaru Usman that fought the last Leon Edwards, he could win as well. I feel like this is a 50-50 chance on this fight just because of the backgrounds of both of these fighters, man. And I know that's a very hot take, especially being the Kamaru Usman that was arguably in the GOAT discussion for a long time. And I know there's going to be a lot of meat riders and jockstrap cleaners that are going to be in my comments that, oh my God, you're such a casual. How could you possibly think Kamaru Usman wouldn't beat Khamzat? I said, well, look, bro, I'll say this. I mean, there are great fighters that pop out of nowhere all the time. I mean, how would you ever assume anybody would beat anybody? How would you ever assume John Jones, when John Jones was the original John Jones, would have beat Shogun with it started off like that? How could you have assumed that he would have beat Rampage? How could you have assumed that, Conor McGregor would have knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds? You can't assume anything, man. Just think about it. Analyze your fighter and see if what you're talking about makes sense, man. Don't just go off of, the hype train. And with that being said, man, let me know what y'all want to see. Like, comment, subscribe, man, and we out.